So the light is on. That means we can go to sleep. We're going to go to sleep. So good night, world. And good morning, world. As you can see, our light turns off. But hey, we got an episode to film, so let's get started with that. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Krunky's Single Player Survival Minecraft. We're on episode 19 of our single player adventure. So I woke up this morning and I had a goatee. If you can see that. I don't think I can get a better angle of that. But I figured, hey, let's throw on some sunglasses and dye our hair blue. And we also grew ourselves a mouth, if that's important at all. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I like the skin quite a bit, but I want to hear what you guys have to say about it. Now, this is all a part of what I was mentioning in my last episode. And I guess I'm changing my identity. More accurately, I'm doing some branding for my channel. And I want to make myself look a little bit more identifiable. And this skin will make a whole lot more sense in the coming episodes, or in the coming days, I should say. And I hope you guys stick with me as those changes happen. But anyways, on with the episode. We're going to step out here and... That's a lot of cake. I mean, cake everywhere. Cake on the floors, cake on the walls, inside item frames. I wonder why this is all here. Oh well. Continuing on. So you guys may have noticed, I missed my episode for Friday. The reason for that is because I've been, well, first off, it's Labor Day weekend. Second off, it's been extremely hot where I live. When I say extremely hot, I'm saying like 120 degrees almost Fahrenheit, that is. And it was just too unbearable to be in the house. So the family and I, we packed up and we went out and we went somewhere that was a lot cooler. Unfortunately, I didn't have a computer with me. I didn't have Minecraft, so I couldn't record the episode. So I apologize about that, but I hope you guys stick around because I'll be making up for that in today's episode. Now, before we do anything, the first thing I want to do here is break down this block here. And I have a bed and a redstone lamp in my inventory because I want to make this a little bit more symmetrical. We will light this up. We'll connect this up with this light over here in the future. But for now, I just want to make it a little more symmetrical and have a bigger bed. So that's done. Continuing on. So for this next project, once again, we're going to be heading towards the desert. And this time it's not to gather sand, although we could use some while we're there. But instead, we are going to be building a farm out there. Now, deserts and farms, there's only really one farm that comes to mind, so you probably already have guessed. But we're going to build ourselves a squid farm. And the reason for that is we'll be needing a lot of ink sacs to be making black concrete. It's unfortunately part of our, well, I guess not unfortunately, but it's part of our theme. The whole black and white theme. So we will be needing quite a bit of it. And in order to fulfill that need, we'll be needing a lot of ink sacs. So slime farm's the best. Slime farm. Squid farm is the best option for that. So we are going to head to that desert and we're going to build ourselves a squid farm. So I'll see you guys there. We've made it to the desert and now we just need to find a nice place to put this farm. And because of the way that squids spawn, they have to be within, I believe, it's got to be at sea level, which is, I think, 62 blocks. So any of these high points won't really do us much good because we're going to have to dig downwards. So I'm thinking I want to build somewhere here, but there is a river over here and that could really affect spawning rates. So let's move over in this area and see if we can find a better area. Now, getting higher up with a better vantage point, we can kind of see that this river snakes around the entire desert and it goes into here, but then it comes back over here. And so I'm thinking this area might not be the greatest place to build our squid farm. But I do think that over in this direction, there's a more deserty area. if I remember correctly, this desert connects up with another desert over here. So we're going to head over in that direction and see if we can find a more dry area. So I've walked a bit and I found a desert temple. I'm not sure if that's the place I raided before, so I'm going to go check that out. But as you can see, you know, there is some water over there and it does kind of wrap around, I guess, over there. I can't really tell. But for the most part, this area over here is pretty dry. So I'm thinking if we do something like right there, there's just a little bit of water we need to patch up over there. And I don't think that's close enough to really affect the rates too much. So we're going to pick out a nice spot over here to start our farm. But first, let's go check out that owl. Let's try that again. But first, let's go to the desert temple and see if that's one thing that we've already hit before. I think it is, but let's just make sure. And sure enough, we've already been here. So no point in checking this place out. Let's go back to where we're going to build our farm. I'm going to go ahead and start working out the foundation for the Squid Farm. And I'll be back to you guys with a little bit of progress update. So I've picked out my spot and I kind of want to put in this one chunk for no particular reason. I don't think my farm needs to be all that big because I don't think I need all that much ink, but this will be the center of it. And you know, floating around YouTube, floating around the web, there's a lot of very similar designs for the Squid Farm, and I want to do something a little bit more unique. It doesn't make the farm any more efficient. It's just something I want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and start digging out the areas that I need to dig out. But just some basics on squid farms is squids will spawn between y equals 63 and I think it was 42. And so this block here is y equals 63. So this is actually perfect for where we want to build our farm. So water will be coming down from this level all the way down to y equals 43. Then I believe squids need 13 blocks to drop to have an instant death. So we'll go down 13 blocks. We'll have a layer of glass. And then as usual, have a minecart rail going back and forth with a minecart with hoppers on top, picking up all of the squid that's dropped and then unloading them into a chest. We'll probably end up making that chest become a item elevator to bring up our items up here. But for now, we got to work on the farm. So I'm going to go ahead and start working on this and I'll be back with you guys in a bit. After a whole bunch of mining, we have our foundation set out and all of these cobblestone blocks will be where our water will be dropping down. And so I have corresponding holes to where they will fall into. And because we can't put holes here, what we're going to do is we're going to set down some fence gates, open fence gates, so that they will fall into that. And we'll also put fence gates out here as well so that they don't spread out. But I'm just going to go ahead and continue making these holes. But I do have a bunch of fence gates. We went over to the forest or savannah and we grabbed a bunch of fence gates or a bunch of wood and made a bunch of fence gates. So what we're going to do now is we're going to place all these fence gates after we finish making all these holes. And then after we place them all in here, we're also going to place them up on here as well. So that this gives a nice pocket to just fall into. So I'm going to go ahead and finish making those holes and filling all these areas, and I'll be back in a little bit. I've set all my fence gates in, and I made sure that they're all open. So all that we have to do now is go down 13 blocks and then start placing glass. So we're almost there, but we're going to head down and start clearing out the area. So we finally got our 13 block drop, and I'm almost out of pickaxe. And as you can see, my inventory is pretty much to the brim. I have a box up there that I've put in all of my excess items, but still, this is a lot of mining to do, and I just don't have that much space. But anyways, we're almost there. I just need to clear out this last layer here. And what we're going to do in this last layer is we're going to be putting glass here. And I picked white glass only because I had a surplus of this after working on the base. So you know, we had it. It's glass, it works. So that's what we were using. I'm going to go ahead and clear out this last layer and fill this in with glass, and I'll be back with you guys in a little bit. We've got all the glass in, we've got all of our rails in, and let me just break this real quick so I can show you what we've done. And yeah, everything's pretty much blocked up. I made the mistake of putting in glass here first and then doing the rails. I got about here when I realized I should have done the rails first. So over here everything was good, but here I had to break down and go from under, like one layer under, and start placing the blocks and the rails on top of it. It was quite a pain, but it got done. I did a test run with the minecart and every block is hit, so everything looks good. We're now at the last point where we need to, first off, patch that back up, and our farm is now closed up. We need to put an activator rail here, which I don't have at the moment, or yeah, activator rail. I think that's right. And then we will also make a little temporary storage area for the ink sacks, and then eventually that'll become an item elevator. It'll go all the way up and away. So everything's looking good. The only thing is I don't have any, well, I do have some, but I don't have enough ladders to get up to the top, and I don't think I have enough wood either. I had to make a bunch of levers and whatnot. I had to go back to my base, get more rails, or get more resources for rails and more glass, because I did run out. As usual, I didn't plan things thoroughly. But for now, we just need to work our way up. We'll be using sand to get up, because it's going to be the easiest way to get down, or the cheapest way, I should say, because I'm honestly not sure if I can get up to the top at the moment, because my pickaxe is pretty beat. But here's hoping. We're almost there, I'm assuming. Just a few more blocks, and I do expect sand to drop on us shortly. So I'll put down a torch. And I think I might have been unlucky and picked a spot where it was actually a mountain, or a hill, I should say. But it's looking like we're almost there, so there's the sand. And yeah, we did pick a spot that was pretty high, but that's all good. We are now at the top. And if you haven't realized what my design was yet, it is a giant K for, you guessed it, Kruncky. Now, like I said, all of these cobblestone blocks is where our water sources are going to be, and everything that's blank will be solid blocks so that the water doesn't spew out this side. And once we get that in, we should actually start seeing squid spawning, which is pretty good. But before we do that, we need to find out the whole item sorting system, or not item sorting, but the unloading system for the minecart. And we also need, where did I come up from? Oh man. Anyways, we're gonna figure out how to get back down. We're also gonna find a better solution to get back up. But we need to go finish that unloading system, and I'll be back in a little bit. So as you'll see here, we put our water in, and we already have squid dropping, which is great. I mean, I don't know how efficient this is, but it looks pretty good to me. I mean, non-stop dropping. We are contending with the spawn area for spawn rates, because, you know, the spawn chunks will always be loaded, and because there's water there, there's a chance that there are squid loaded over there, meaning we don't get squid here. But so far it looks pretty good. I did miss a water block over there, so I'm going to grab that in a little bit. But I need to go in here and start working on my unloading area. But I just realized I don't actually have the items I need for it. So I'm gonna have to run back to my base. But before we do that, I do want to do a quick run just to see how this, how effective this is. And it looks like it's working pretty good. We'll give it a minute to go around. I kind of want to see it in action, so I'm going to break these blocks up here, but I get the feeling that by the time we get up there, it'll have already passed, but I still want to see it go. And you can see it there. It is running by. It is grabbing all of these ink sacs, which is great. Yeah, I can't complain. Let's see how many we got with just that one run. Some items we dropped earlier, but 2 stacks and some change. Not bad at all. Anyways, I do need to run back to my base so that I can grab some. I need a hopper and activator rail. Detector rail? Detector rail. A hopper, some chests, and a whole bunch of other bits. So I'll be back in a little bit. So we're pretty much set. We have our shaft going down. We also do not have any cobble because we dropped it in here. But we're going to use this cobble to block this off here. And the system we got going, I actually saw this off of Wells Knight's setup. And basically, it's a powered rail here. But whenever this hopper has any items in it, this comparator will give a signal which hits this redstone torch, which you can't see, which unpowers this redstone dot, which then unpowers this, letting it sit here and unload. And as you saw, once all the items have come out of the chest, or gone into the chest rather. So let's quickly show that. It powers on again, the cart will go back out, and we will start picking up sacks again. So let's have a quick test. And this is actually not a test because this is the actual, well, it's actually going. So let's see what we come back with. I mean, I'm excited to see it. It's actually working. I can hear the cart over there, so it's probably on its way back. And I think we actually filled up the minecart, because that's a lot of sacks that are just sitting there. Ink sacks, I should say, just to be proper. And let's see what we come back with. Wow, we did fill that up pretty quick. And as you can see, everything's unloading at the moment. Let's see our chest over here. Let's pick up our cobblestone. And yeah, that's filling up pretty nicely. So I'll close that up so we have a little room to walk. But this might take a while, so I'm going to let it sit for a little bit, and I'll be back in a little bit. Our cart has just arrived after a couple of times, and wow, we have already filled that up. It's going out for another run. We got quite a bit of ink sacks just from the ink that was there while we were building this whole area out. That's almost, what is that, 18 stacks of ink sacks, which is great. We're gonna see it come back over here in a little bit and see how many it picked up in that one run. But yeah, this is a lot more efficient than I thought it would be, which is a great thing. So here comes the cart, and yeah, about a stack in a little bit, just during the time that the cart came, unloaded, and went back. So the things are looking good. We have quite a bit of ink sacks. We're eventually gonna have to make a item elevator. We'll probably pipe this around and then up to where our bed is currently at, but everything's looking nice. So let me quickly run up here. Once we get that item elevator, we might not need this maintenance shaft. But then again, hoppers in minecarts tend to stop working after the chunks is unloaded, so I don't know if that'll be an issue or not. So I might want to leave that just so I can get down there and push the cart if need be. But so far everything's looking good. I think I'm going to AFK here for a while and just see how much ink sacks we can get. So we've been AFK for about 25 minutes now. that cart should be on its way back now. And we'll just give it a minute so they can get caught up. So we'll take a look at what we got. We got a decent amount of ink sacs. And as you can see, after about 25 minutes, we almost have a full double chest worth of ink sacs. So I'd like to say that's a successful farm. I mean, I couldn't have seen it gone any better. We have plenty of ink sacs for our concrete. So I'm happy with it. I'm extremely happy with it, actually. The design, you know, it worked a lot better in my mind. The holes in the K kind of ruined the effect, and trying to fit it into one chunk didn't really work out. But you know, at least I tried. It was something new and it works, so I'm happy with that. I might come back later and maybe pretty up a little bit. This cobblestone kind of needs to go, but it's all I had at the moment, so. But functionality wise, it's perfect. We have all the ink sacs that we need, so I'm happy. All we need to do now is set up a Nether Portal somewhere here, or somewhere where the item elevator will be set up. I've been kind of putting off the Nether Portal because I want to set up the Nether Portal in my base pretty low, just like all the other farms that I want to work on. I don't want the noise of the Nether Portal kind of interrupting me while I'm doing other things in the base. So I want to get as low as possible in the base to make that happen. But we're not quite there yet, so it's on the list of things I need to do, and we'll eventually get there. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed the Squid Farm. Now, one thing I really like about Squid Farms is you can make it in pretty much any design you want to, which is what allowed me to make this K shape. Even though it didn't come out perfectly, I still like it. But you know, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Again, I apologize for the lack of episodes last Friday because of Labor Day weekend, extreme heat. Nothing I could have done about it. So I hope you understand. And also, don't forget to head down to the comment section. Let me know what you think about the skin. Like I said, I like it quite a bit, but I still want to know what you guys think. Anyways, it's been fun, but I've been working on this farm for quite a while, and it's now time for me to go to sleep. So I will see you guys in the next episode. Have a good night. See ya.